right, welcome back to another video. My name is Nolan. We're talking more basketball. It's an exciting time. Happy 4th of July to everyone out there. This is the free agency time in the NBA. Tons of new signings, guys switching teams, lots of money getting spent. I heard it's over $2 billion that NBA teams have spent already. And there's more moves to come. I think they're talking about Brad Beal might get bought out. Where's he going to go? Chris Paul, Josh Giddey, Jonathan Kuminga of the Warriors. There's still lots of moves to be done. Teams could slightly improve. But for this video, we wanted to look at the Eastern Conference because it has just been absolutely wild last few months in the East. Who's going to win? Who's projected to be the top six? Who do I think is going to be the top six in the East? Because it has become real Game of Thrones style. Everyone kind of thinks that they have a chance to sit on the Iron Throne, for lack of a better word, to win the East, to go to the NBA Finals. There's so many teams now in the East. I've never really seen in the last 10 years where it's so hard to predict a conference. And so even though the East is not considered as talented as the West, it could very well be way more exciting next year. So many teams going for it. What will happen at the trade deadline? Are teams trying to get better? Do they think they have a chance to win it all? I think it's going to be really exciting. So let's go through my predictions, how the regular season, this is not for the playoffs, how the regular season is going to finish in the Eastern Conference, starting with, yes, if it's Game of Thrones, sorry, there are a few teams that just have no chance. They have been killed off. They're not going to sit on the throne. They're not going to win the East. And we have to start with the Wizards, Charlotte, the Raptors, the Bulls, and sad to say it because I think both of these teams have a chance to be play-in teams, that being the Celtics and the Pacers, who looked last year, obviously the Celtics were on top of the East. This year, the Pacers are on top of the East, and now they have fallen dramatically. I don't think they have a chance to realistically win the East. Let's start first with the Pacers. Obviously, you know, the whole reason the East is up in flux is because of two main injuries. That's to Tyrese Halliburton of the Pacers and to Jason Tatum of the Celtics. Also, Damian Lillard of the Bucks, who got released by the Bucks, now a free agent. Also, another big injury that has just made the East wide open. But for the Pacers, I just don't see it. You know, who's going to be their center? Are they going to get other big men? They just lost Miles Turner. Halliburton's done for the year. I mean, you got TJ McConnell, Nesmith. These are your best players. Of course, Pascal Siakam. But I just don't see it. I think they can be a play-in team, but I don't see the Pacers doing much next year, especially in the regular season. I think it's going to be a struggle. And you could say the same for the Celtics. Now, I think the Celtics will finish above the Pacers. I think they have a little more talent. Once again, they really don't have any bigs. I know they signed Garza. That is really a backup big. I don't think he's a starter level big. It seems like they're going to lose Al Horford too. They've lost Kornet. They lost Porzingis, obviously. They lost Drew Holiday. The Celtics are going to struggle. I think they will make the play-in because they got Jaylen Brown, you know, obviously a good player. They've got Derek White, obviously a very good player. They still got Pritchard, can really score. You know, they still have some guys, of course, a good culture, a good fan base. I think they will make the play-in and probably get into the playoffs, but this team is not competing for the top. I don't believe so. Those are the teams that I would say are out of it. I also might have missed the Nets. I don't think the Nets have any chance of winning. They might be frisky. Last year, their coach got them to play extremely hard. They really worked hard, and you would look at that roster and say the Nets aren't going to be very good, and they had a better record than you would think. But this year, I just don't see the Nets also doing much. So, with that being said, let's get to now the teams who I think will be on top, and I think everyone's pick to win the regular season is going to be the Cavs. They lost Ty Jerome. They lost Isaac Okoro. They picked up, in a trade, Lonzo Ball. But they have the same team. Jared Allen and Mobley are probably the best big combo in the conference. I think they're going to run away with it. I think they're going to be the 1 seed again. They've got the most talent. Donovan Mitchell, Lonzo now. They got some shooting on the perimeter. I think they've got a deep team. Not the best defensive team, but I think they'll win the East pretty easily, with the exception of the second team. It's got to be the Knicks. The Knicks, I think, will finish second. Had a pretty good free agency period here. Picked up Clarkson, picked up Yabusele. They'll have a good team. I think they'll finish second. After that, it's really just chaos here. I mean, for me, I think that Detroit will finish third. I think with Cade, with their bigs, they've got a good lineup. One of the Thompson twins could take a leap. They still got Jalen Duren. I think Detroit is going to be solid. They didn't do a ton here. I know Malik Beasley's got the gambling, problems. So maybe they take a step back, but I just see in the East, I think they have more talent still than Orlando, still than Atlanta. So I think Detroit finishes third. I think after that, you got to go with Orlando. They pick up Bane. They've still got a great roster. They've got Franz. They've got Paolo. I think Orlando finishes fourth. I think Atlanta made some good moves. I would say they finished fifth. They picked up, obviously still got Trae Young. They got Porzingis. They've got some help on the wings. I think they'll be a solid team, fifth area, and then sixth. Final pick for the Eastern Conference here, top 6 teams. I think the Bucks just sneak in. If they can keep Giannis, obviously they just got Miles Turner. They just, as Brian Windhorst said, mortgaged their mortgage. They waived Lillard and are going to have to pay him a lot. But to me, I think they'll be in the top 6 in this kind of weak Eastern Conference. It's going to be interesting to see because I think Giannis now has to stay with the Bucks for at least a year. I mean, last year the Pacers were horrible to start the year, and then they made it to the finals. So if the Bucks are horrible to start the year, even with Miles Turner, I think Giannis will stay at least for the whole year and give it a chance and see what they can do in the playoffs and see if they can make a run, see if they can make some noise. So I think it works in getting Miles Turner in the sense that you'll keep Giannis for at least 1 year. After that, though, I don't know. If he leaves after this year and you got Miles Turner and a bleak roster, then Milwaukee is not looking good. But for me, I think they will finish in the top 6. That's who I've got in the Eastern Conference right now. Cavs 1, Knicks 2, Detroit 3, Orlando 4, Atlanta 5, and the Bucks at 6. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Am I crazy? Who do I got too high, too low? Am I down on the Pacers, down on the Celtics? Let me know what you guys think.